Important. Few things are more important for parents than their child's education. In many countries, parents choose to send their child to a private school rather than to a government school. Government schools are those that are funded and run by local or central government. Private schools, on the other hand, are funded almost entirely by the fees that they charge. Before deciding where to educate their child, parents need to examine the differences between the two types of schools, particularly with regard to the curriculum, the quality of tuition and student achievement. These schools are comparable in some respects. Like government schools, private schools aim to develop the knowledge, skills and character of students to prepare them for their future lives. Both types of school are also very similar in the way they organize their teaching and assessment, using terms or semesters with assessments at the end of the academic year. Despite these similarities, there are a number of marked differences in the way that these schools operate. The range of subjects taught in government schools is limited by the demands of the. In contrast, private schools can offer a greater choice of subjects because they generally have more money to spend on equipment, technology, and staff than state schools do. Government school teachers must have recognized teaching qualifications and are paid according to a national scale. Private schools, however, are in a position to offer higher salaries and may therefore be able to attract subject specialists who have considerable expertise in their field. In general, it is true to say that while government schools have a high student-teacher ratio, private schools tend to offer smaller classes. This may lead to better discipline that leads to higher academic standards. Impunity. Impunity is freedom from punishment despite accused of crimes. It is a state of lawlessness. Impunity is being exercised in the countries where there is lack of political stability. When a person, regardless of the positions she holds in the society, act contrary to the rule of law, is accused of impunity. Impunity manifests itself especially when laws as far as legality is concerned are overlooked. To act with impunity means to act with the knowledge that one is above the law. In political and human rights terms, it means that acts of repression and abuse of power by the state against its citizens are protected from judgment or accountability before national law. In the present landscape of India, the issue of impunity casts a long shadow over the nation's quest for justice and accountability. Impunity, defined as the exemption from punishment despite being accused of crimes, presents a significant challenge, particularly in regions where political stability is tenuous. In India today, impunity manifests itself in various forms, often when individuals in positions of power flout the rule of law without facing consequences. This disregard for legal norms not only erodes public trust in institutions but also perpetuates a culture of impunity, where wrongdoers operate with impunity, shielded from accountability. Recent events have highlighted the deep-rooted nature of impunity in Indian society. From cases of political corruption to instances of human rights abuses, there are numerous examples where perpetrators evade justice, leaving victims marginalized and disillusioned. The failure to address impunity not only undermines the principles of democracy but also threatens the social fabric of the nation. Political protection often shields wrongdoers from accountability, exacerbating the problem and fostering a climate of impunity. This not only emboldens perpetrators but also sends a dangerous message that those in power are above the law. Addressing impunity requires a concerted effort from all sectors of society. Government institutions must strengthen accountability mechanisms and ensure that perpetrators are held to account for their actions. Civil society plays a crucial role in advocating for justice and supporting victims of impunity. By upholding the principles of justice and fairness, India can confront the scourge of impunity and pave the way for a society where the rule of law prevails and all citizens are treated equally under the law. Only then can the nation truly fulfill its promise of democracy and justice for all. No one is above law. The majority of accused people are yet to be punished by law. It is regarded as one of the obvious threats for national security. If the country is run in person's interest, impunity gets severe. The issue of impunity is prevalent both in local and national level. However, the national level issue is a significant one because it has much impact. When a country is run based on the constitutional provisions, impunity gets weakened. The government and authorities concerned are to work prudently to end impunity without delay. Democracy. Democracy is a political system in which the people of a country rule through any form of government they choose to establish. In modern democracies, supreme authority is exercised for the most part by representatives elected by popular votes of the people. The representatives may be succeeded by the voters according to the legal procedures of recall and referendum, and they are responsible to the voters. Democracy is regarded as the best and ideal form of government. Everybody has freedom to use their fundamental rights. It is said that democracy is the government of the people, for the people and by the people. In a democratic country, the government is formed by the elected representatives of the people. Democracy encourages and allows the rights of citizens, such as freedom of speech, religion, opinion, and association in a peaceful manner. If anyone is deprived of basic rights, the court gives him justice. In a democratic country, it is true that the common people are superior. Democracy has party system. It can be successful only when people understand the responsibilities given to them. They must think of not only their rights but also of those of others. They should perform their own duties. They must obey the laws of the country. Democracy cannot be successful if the people are not educated. If they are educated, they can use their votes properly and choose the good persons of the good parties. Democracy has also disadvantages. The main disadvantages are the instability of government, raising the market prices by the free economic system, the loss of much property in the party election, the use of the force to dominate the other's opinion and principle, etc. causes the prices to rise. For these reasons, Winston Churchill says that democracy is the government of the tools. Importance of women education. Education is a system of formal teaching and learning conducted through schools and other institutions. A literate population is always a necessity for any nation wishing to take advantage of modern technological growth. Education is an important requirement for human life. It is as much necessary as food, cloth and shelter. Women who cover more than half of the present total population must not be left uneducated and put in darkness. Their duties do not end in cooking and feeding only. She has a greater need of education than a man does. It is thought that both man and woman must be equally educated, and they are like the two wings of a bird. Different researchers have shown a direct relationship between literacy among women and improved health and child care in the family. It is true that a home is the first school of every child, and the mother is the first teacher. She must know how to nurse and take care of the child. The mother teaches her child what to do and what not to do. A well-educated mother can give a good environment to her child for better education. Because of the polite behavior and the diplomatic speech, a well-educated woman can keep the house in right order, in peace and in happiness. She can also help the family with financial support, as she can have a good job and earn good money. It should also be considered where there is good respect of women, there is always happiness and prosperity. Thus, women education is very important in order to educate an individual, a family and the whole country. They must be empowered with education and trainings. The government and authorities concerned should play a conclusive role for the progress of their present status of education.